Build the railroads of the Old West in Slitherlink Rails, the new flip and write game from Matthew Dunstan and Jeffrey Allers. The game is inspired by the popular Slitherlink logic puzzles in which each number determines how many lines you can draw adjacent to that space. In Slitherlink Rails, these numbers represent buildings you are trying to complete as you build your track across the United States in the late 1800s. This is how you play the game.
Take the cards, which have 5 of each suit. There are 3 types of go cards. Take 1 of each. And each player takes a player sheet. It has a map and a scoring area. Each turn, you'll draw 3 lines of track and then possibly activate some of the boxes in the scoring area. There are 4 rounds in the game, and each round has 5 turns. Each round, you'll have a complete poker hand of 5 cards. The cards you take also determine which railway line you'll be extending with your track that turn. For instance, here I'm going to be extending my track from the clubs line. So I look and there is the club station. So I'll be extending from either starting from this station or continuing a line that begins from this station. At the beginning of each round, you shuffle all 20 cards and then you draw the top 3 and place face up for the first turn. First player in this turn will choose one of the cards for themselves. No other player can use this card this turn. All other players then will choose from the remaining 2 cards. So in this case, I will choose the King of Diamonds. I first write the King on the first space of my first hand, and then I can draw 3 lines from the Diamond station this direction, and I can draw another one in this direction or add to that line, for instance, here. All these different hexes have different symbols on them. The ones that have numbers on them have to have as much track around them in order to be activated as the number on the symbol. So if I were to have drawn my track this way, 1, 2, 3, I would have already activated this space because I have 2 sides already filled in with track and the number is 2 on this hex.
Gamblers move from town to town, playing high-stakes poker to get a cut of the new wealth of the West. Here, I activate a gambler and circle it in my scoring area.
The gambler makes my poker hands worth twice as many points at the end of the round. This continues each turn with me taking a new card. Here would be the King of Clubs, another king. This time I start from the club station. 1, 2, 3.
The gold rush attracted miners who combed the West for the precious metal.
This mine only needs 1 side of the hex to be completed with track, so this is also finished. I then circle 1 gold under my mining section.
Nothing was completely safe in the Wild West, but banks were a more secure place for your gold than your saddlebags.
When I complete a bank, which requires 3 sides, I'm able to bank all my current gold. 1, 2, 3. My first bank gives me 2 times as many points as gold, so I would get 6. The next bank will give me 3 times, but I can only bank as much gold as I did on the previous turn, so that means a maximum of 3 more gold.
Military forts were a vital means of protection for everyone on the frontier.
If I complete a fort, 4 sides, I simply fill in the next fort circle. At the end of the game, I'll have as many points for my forts as the next free number.
Towns sprung up near gold mining and along the new railroads. It's good to connect your route to these towns.
Every time you do, you circle one of the town connections. From then on, you can use these town connections for bonus actions, to build a bridge over the river, for a tunnel to go straight through a hex, for a switch to branch the track off in 2 directions, or to even change the suit of the color for 1 turn. For example, I could use one of these town connections to use one of my 3 track to build a bridge across the river. Each time you connect to a city, that line stops there. It cannot be continued on. However, up to 3 train lines can also join the town and form a network. At the end of the game, you get 1 point for every town connected in your largest network.
Saloons were a prominent feature in most towns, becoming a place for everyone to mingle with gambling, food and drink, and entertainment. You can build saloons
to increase that to 2 points, 4 points, or even 8 points for every town in your largest network. Each gold card gives you 10 points if you are the first player or players to finish it in the same turn, or 5 points if you finish it at the end of the game but are not the first one. Each time you complete a gold card, you simply fill in the appropriate box. At the end of each round, when you have 5 cards, you score your poker hands. Here I have a full house, and I have a gambler, so it's worth twice as many points.
Ranches were run by cowboys in the West to raise and sell cattle. To build a ranch, you use your tracks to fence in one cattle symbol by itself. Here, I create 2 ranches, one here and the other here.
Fill in the next free circles in your ranch scoring area. The next free circle will be the number of points you currently have. After the last poker hand, add up all your points from each area to get your total score. Player with the highest score wins.
Slitherlink Rails is a 60-minute game for 1 to 4 players ages 10 and up.